So I may be in my feelings this day that I'm like, why he not checking for me?
Yeah,
like,
by me waiting for this man to call me back for like 6, 7, 8 months, and he never did, I kind of deal with every man after him the same. I don't ever gotta hear from you again.
Like, I don't feel like it's healthy. Like, my ex, he was like that. Every time we go through an issue, like, that man will be at my door. And it's like, can you give me the space to be angry?
Yes.
And feel how I feel. Like, you not even I feel like it's controlling in a way.
Yeah.
Like, dealing with my mom growing up, I felt like she avoided certain conversations that she should have been having. You know, like, when you know my daddy in my ear saying one thing, and instead of just calling him manipulative, you know, you should have been explaining your side or saying how you feel about it, or how asking ERIN, you know, 6-year-old ERIN, how does this impact you? You know,
probably feel you a child though.
It doesn't, but see, I'm smart. Like, when my mom knew I was smart.
You could be smart, but
My based on my childhood, my mom knew what I could handle. So I felt like there was a choice. Her just being like, I don't want to open myself up to ridicule. I don't want to open myself up to judgment by my child, because she knew I could handle it. She knew I could understand.
But maybe she was
that probably was
afraid.
abuse to her.
No, and that's what I'm saying.
It probably was
She was
abuse to
definitely
her.
afraid, like,
and
you know what I'm
then-
saying?
Well, and I think she was afraid because she herself didn't want to face that. And so I think she just avoided those conversations, and, you know, those are my parents, and so this is me. So I definitely avoid stuff when I don't want to deal with something.
What's your attachment style, Rico?
All right, so my attachment issue is avoidance. And I'll be honest with you, I think I have avoidance if I had to diagnose myself. You know, I could be a therapist out here. But I think I have avoidance attachment tendencies 100%. And y'all know my story. Like, I'm a survivor. You feel me? Survivors don't have time to deal with feelings and emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my mom, I watched my mom work 60, 70 hours a week. You feel me? And most of the times, the only time that I got to spend with my mom was when my mom was my basketball coach or my substitute teacher, because that was the only way she could be with me. So, like, when I came to, like, dealing with, like, if I was young and I was dealing with problems like, oh, you know, I want some type of love or affection, I didn't have time for that. Like, I was too busy worrying about, like, how I'm gonna get to my next meal, how we gonna get to our next meal, how I'm gonna get to school the next day, and what I'm gonna eat the next day. So, like, avoiding those type of, like, emotional aspects of relationships as a youngin', I feel like I do that now. It's like, if a girl I'm dealing with is overly emotional, which to me seems very minuscule, but for her it's like the end of the world. Like, how could you comment on her photo? And I'm like, are you serious? Like
Insecurity.
Yeah, but like, no, because sometimes I'll be wilding. Like, I'll comment on a photo. Like, there's a situation where I commented mine on a photo, and she's like, I'm yours. What you mean mine? So I'm like, yeah, I'm wilding, but it's not that serious. But to me,
It's disrespectful.
it is disrespectful.
It's disrespectful, but a girl like me probably wouldn't see it.
No, but my thing is, like, I'm wrong in that aspect, right? And she's getting emotional of it, but I'm avoiding it because to me it's not, like, emotions and surviving is so far-fetched that they can't.
Surviving?
Yeah, no, I'm used to surviving. So when you bring emotions to the table, it's such a foreign language to me that it's like this isn't even necessary.
So my question.
But can I say one thing? I kind of just want to be. You could go. I want to know what I'm diagnosed with.
We don't know. That's how I asked you.
Let me tell you something, right? All right, so I used to be, like, very needy. Like, I feel like the old me was very needy and, like, wants love, wants to meet people, and I would just, like, take Advil to go to sleep and break heart, all that, right? So
Wait, take Advil to go to sleep.
I mean, the sleeping pills and shit I should be on.
You went from needy to sleepy pills.
I was a very crazy person.
She's just giving you the whole.
Can I explain myself?
She's just giving you the whole picture.
Anyways, I used to be like this. I used to be hopeless romantic. Like, that's really. I mean, Aquarius, like, all that shit Rico telling you is bullshit. We lovers. That's what we do. Aquarius are lovers. So when I lost my virginity now, right? I lost my virginity.
If that's okay.
22. In my early 20s. Anyway, so when I lost it, right? I lost it and I never had a call back. that's how I became a freak. I'm like, I gotta know how to fuck. You know what I'm saying? I gotta learn. This is what I do. I waited 6 months, up to 7, 8 months, hopeful of a phone call. By me waiting for this man to call me back for like 6, 7, 8 months, and he never did, I kind of deal with every man after him the same. I don't ever gotta hear from you again. I don't hear from you, I'm good. Like, I don't ever, after that, honestly, I feel like that's really when I became bitter. Like, maybe I am bitter. Like, you know, maybe I'm still waiting for that phone call that I never received. And it's kind of like, years later, like, I waited for 6, 7, 8 months, and I received a phone call like 3, 4 years later, which pissed me off because I kind of feel like it's because of my social media he hit me up. So now I'm even become more bitter. Now I got even more trust issues. So it's kind of like now when I deal with dudes, I might really even like you, but I don't gotta hear from you. It doesn't bother me.
I think you might be anxious.
Avoidant.
Yeah, or whatever, because
that's what I'm saying.
she want to get them before she gets got.
Now I just don't give a fuck. After since then, it's like, okay, you here, fine. You're not here. Whenever I see you, you don't even
diagnosed.
What's wrong with being disappointed and you're like, you know what? I'm not even putting you on a pedestal where you can disappoint me. So if we fuck today and you don't call me tomorrow or the next week or the next week, I will be okay. It's not gonna affect it's not gonna affect my self-esteem. It's not gonna affect how I think of myself. That's you and your choice.
But it does.
But it does affect the way
you deal with guys.
Yeah. Moving forward.
To yourself, but Danny's not being honest to herself, though.
I am being honest.
You just said that you still waiting for that phone call. You still holding on to that trauma.
Maybe but I'm like, I did get that phone call, but it's still like, okay, now it's like, I don't need it no more. 3, 4 years later, you know what I'm saying? I had to go about ways, like, you know, I had to do things like become a freak, do things I didn't want to do because I thought it was me.
You know what I mean? Do things you didn't want to do.
I mean, like, you know, there's shit like
she wasn't ready to suck a little bit.
I was not ready.
Wait, sucking.
Now look at you.
Now look at you. You sucking.
But sad to say that, but I'm just saying, like,
It's safe to say that.
But like, no, I just felt like, damn, I feel like that's one of the reasons where I become detached to people, like, to men. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Is that healthy?
Wait, I got a question though. I'm gonna just stem off it. Just I'm gonna take the pressure off you. Don't worry, Danny. I know 3 people here in relationships. We got Sig, ERIN, and Amanda, right? So my question for the people here in a relationship, if y'all got relationships that we don't know about, you can talk about it.
No, I refuse that.
Speaking out for another piece.
I want to know if you had to diagnose your partner, what do you think your partner is? And then also, what do you think your compatibility with you are?
Interesting that you asked.
Excellent question.
Excellent question.
Get ready for that one.
Honestly, and now that you just said it, my husband is also the avoidance type.
I was just gonna ask for a refresher on that one.
And even though, like, if there's an issue, I'll be like, look, we can talk about this and be done and move on to the next thing. He'll just sweep it under the rug. You know, it's gonna resurface. You know, a little of dust gonna come out at some point, but for the time being, he'll just sweep it under the rug. And now that I think about it, it's probably not a good thing. Look at you.
Do you think that you ever have problems because, like, have you and your spouse ever had an issue because you both were trying to avoid a situation that you know that needed to be addressed?
No. Because I guess if there's levels, we said these attachment types are not linear, so there's a spectrum. Yeah. I'd say that 0 to 10, I'm more on the lower end, below 5 of avoidance, and I'd say my husband is more on the higher end. Because earlier when I was talking about relationships, it was more so like with my parents. But like growing up in my family, we're very confrontational. Like if there's an issue, we gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna box it out, we gonna wrestle, we gonna talk about it, we gonna cuss. But tomorrow, we're all gonna get up and eat scrambled eggs together. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and like my husband's family,
Not like that.
they like to just kind of keep things, you know.
Copacetic.
Yeah. And
the
me,
subtle tension.
Yeah, but me, that's gonna burn me up because we're not finna sit here and eat these eggs and
Shit ain't right.
Right, and there's some stuff that happened the other week and we ain't talked about it yet. That's what's not gonna happen because I'm not gonna sit at that table with you. You can move around. So
when you asked about our partners, I feel like the way you described anxious attachment style to ERIN, I feel like that's exactly how my girlfriend is. I feel like she definitely has to talk and resolve our problems. Like right then and there, she can't hold nothing in. Meanwhile, I'm more of the type to hold some things in. Like, because I can try to avoid tension, avoid problems that don't really seem too big to me. So yeah, I kind of try to sweep it under the rug. But her, she's just like, we got a problem. Let's not let it build up. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out the way so there's no tension between us. Then there's no, problem. She's definitely that way.
Is that necessarily healthy?
Like,
I don't feel like it's healthy. Like, my ex, he was like that. Every time we go through an issue, like, that man will be at my door. And it's like, can you give me the space to be angry?
Yes.
And feel how I feel. Like, you're not even I feel like it's controlling in a way.
Yeah.
Almost because you're not letting me feel no emotions. You're not even letting me, like, really be sad about something or really be angry about something because you're trying to control that moment right then and there. I don't want, it's almost like, oh yeah, but let's get over it. No, you're not going to mind fuck me into thinking it's about me. It's about making you yourself feel good because you're actually the anxious one. And you're sitting here like, no, we got to solve it right now. Like, it's really toxic. I feel like you got to let people like really, if y'all going through something, go through it a little bit, feel the emotion. And then sometimes if you try to like attack something right then and on, you may say stuff you don't mean.
Facts.
You may make rash decisions, you understand? Yeah. So it's really good to give a person a space and give yourself space too. You know what I mean? If you see something that your partner didn't like, fall back a little bit. Instead of like coming at them like, just fall back a little bit. Give yourself time to think and maybe you come at it more rational.
You know what, Nikki? I think I really do.
Because
I really
it's crazy
do agree with, I feel like you are right. I feel like not so much that it's controlling, but I feel like in the healthiest way, it makes sense for both of you guys to get your emotions out there. Like, give yourself time to be mad. I feel like that's what I do. Like, and especially for me to think clearly. So when I do address it head on, I know how I feel completely, and I know what I'm going to say. It is kind of bombarding when someone just wants to get things resolved right then and there, because sometimes you don't even know how to feel. And I've literally just experienced this yesterday. Like, we had an issue and I was at her house, so it was kind of just like awkward tension. So we had to talk about it right then and there. And she had an issue and she was just telling me, and I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even know how I feel. And I kind of was avoidant, and I was just like, you know what? Well, maybe we could just talk about it later.
But like Nikki said, not to cut you off, Nikki, like, it does make sense when you gotta give somebody time, because it's kind of like sometimes when you try to talk about it when it just happened, you about to say things you didn't mean, he about to say or she about to say things they didn't mean, and sometimes when you let time go by and you come back and you kind of like, it wasn't even that serious.
Yeah. Recently, I had a situation. A person lied to me about something really minuscule. I thought it was really stupid. It was a really stupid thing for him to lie about. And I told him, I was just like, look, I have one child. I'm not raising no grown-ass man, and I don't have to deal with nobody's bullshit, so it's clipped. He's like, all right, I'm not going to bother you. Next day, texts me. Whatever. I read it, don't say nothing. Then the next day, he hits me again, so I blocked him. Why are you not respecting my space? Why you're not even allowing me to be mad? Now you're trying to be over. Good morning, beautiful. I hope you enjoy. Shut the fuck up. Like, give me some time and come back maybe next week when I'm sitting there like, you know what? Everybody makes mistakes. Let me just, give him another chance when he hits me up. No, you're bombarding me. You're not even letting me be mad. I'm not going to heal on your time. So I feel like with me, when I'm upset, you have to give me a couple of days, not a couple of minutes, or when you feel like I should get over it.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, I feel like every relationship or situation, whatever you're doing with somebody, you got to learn your partner. You know what I'm saying? For me, I need space, because if you come to me too early, I'm going to say things you probably would never speak to me ever again. You know what I'm saying? When people, that's when I know when a man really know me, be like, oh, you bugging right now. Let me just give you a space. Oh, you know what? Let me give you a time, because I know how you get. Because I'm going to say things. Some people, they want to talk about it right now. What's going on? Let's talk it out. But for me, me, I need space. So you gotta know who you're dealing with. You know, I might be dealing with you like you don't need your space. You want to talk about it right now? You know, we're going out for hours, but you might be dealing with me where I'm gonna give her a few days because I know she's about to say things to me that I'm not gonna like, and it might bring even more drama because I'm gonna argue with you. I'm gonna tell you something, and you know, if you're a real man, you're gonna want to tell me something. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna be playing with it. So it's kind of like everybody have their moment and their time frame. So you learn whoever you're dealing with, learn their time frame and how you're gonna go about certain things when it comes to like dealing with things that y'all don't agree with or stuff that gets you mad. You know what I'm saying? That's
Question.
all.
Can I have a question? Do you communicate that?
Wait, no, they don't. But can I get let me get right. No. But the thing is, but this is what I'm gonna get into because you're right. I don't think it is communicated, but I communicate my process, right? And I am not that way at all, right? If I don't like something, the worst thing you could do is give me space. If you give me space and I don't like something, it's either one or two things gonna happen. I'm gonna wander off.
I feel that my significant other is all of them just like me. And the reason I feel this way is because I'm in the industry and it's certain times that I'm around certain people or doing certain things, or maybe, like you say, I go out and I'm probably not calling all day or all night where I'm at, what I'm doing. And he don't ask no questions. So the only thing that I'm thinking at the moment is he's probably doing something too, even if I'm not doing something, or if I'm not thinking like that, because it depends on the day, being realistic. It depends on the day. So I'm a female, so I go through emotions realistically. So I may be in my feelings this day that I'm like, why he not checking for me? Like, I'm around Jay-Z. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not literally, but it's like, why you not checking for me and such and such? What you doing? But then I go through my moments of like, I fuck with him. He's supporting me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it depends on the day. But then it's certain times that he do be like super secure. Like it's something that maybe sometimes I would talk to him about it. And he just felt like, I know you doing what you're doing. I know this is what you have to do. I trust that you out here moving like this or whatever. Then he'll have his days once in a blue that he be like, what you doing? Where you at? Who you with? I'm about to pull up. Da, 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 da. So I'm the same way. So we kind of go through the same thing, but it's not an everyday thing. So that's your answer to why I stay, because if that happened every day, then that's a problem.
But
this is a once in a blue thing.
But do you feel like if there's none of this in a relationship, if I'm not like going crazy or you're not going crazy, do you feel like there's a lack of, I don't know, like some type of love? Like, you're not, do you feel like that?
No, I don't think it's a lack of love. I just think that maybe that just goes with your personality. So it's like, you know, with me, I just feel it's not a constant thing that I'm going through, like someone's on my phone nagging me. Mm-hmm. Someone's on my phone accusing me, or I'm on the person's phone accusing them or nagging them. But we do have our days sometimes, and it will go all the way.
Okay, I get what you're
saying.
Them
certain days. Like, you know what I'm saying? That she'll be like, it'll be probably someone from the outside like, oh, I'm not dealing with this. How can you deal with this? And da-da-da. But it's probably because that was just one day. Then the next day we good.
So that's like all you used to.
So, I mean, I'm just going to say, all right, so this is what I'm going to say is, you know, at the end of the day, we all got attachment issues, or not issues. I don't like to use that word. We all got attachment styles, you know, and they're all going to be different, you know. Now, for me, if I have a problem and I don't address the problem, it's either that space is going to make me wander off or it's going to build more emotions that I don't want, like negative emotions. Moral of the story is, what I think for all of us and everybody is that we need to self-reflect on our attachment styles, and then we also need to communicate our attachment styles so we can have a successful relationship.